You had a big viral prosthetic transformation.
Yes.
The Grinch.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You crushed that.
When I saw myself, I was like, "Oh my god, I want to hug my own self.
Yeah.
I wanted to come out of myself and take a picture with my Grinch." I was
Yeah.
like, I loved it.
Yeah. We need a Grinch too where you play his wife.
Well, what I did is like with Photoshop, I did a look of like with green hair, like women, and I put me as a
Okay.
girl,
Oh, okay.
like
So you did
girly,
it. Right.
next
Yeah.
to the Grinch. But that was just on a Photoshop.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but
Well, no, even with the lips, I still get a vibe of like,
and
There
then
you
that's
go.
how I say I take off my nails. That's what I'm
Mhm.
telling you. It's way easier to work because later, if you fast forward, I'm gluing a lot of the fuzz, which it gets. See, so this is why
oh wow.
I can't use nails. See, like already my fingers are
Yeah.
all like with the paint and all
Dang.
that. And then I started cutting these things. And then you stick it with this special glue. And I show there, like, if you go somewhere there, I'm showing there how a mess my studio is. Because I like to film there. Look at all that, all the
Hey,
fuzz.
that's what it takes.
It gets in your way because then you're trying to see to
You
take it
got
off your
like fuzz
fingers
on
and
you.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like
How many total hours did this take you?
that's a filming for a TikTok that I'm trying to do. So in order to make sure that the transitions are well, so with my hands that are already all sticky, I'm with the computer editing in that moment live.
Yeah.
So that it's a tough one because you need to make sure that it's gonna land.
Oh, nice.
So I just need to make sure that the lips are syncing and everything. And this is not with flips. Like there is another one that has 9 million views on YouTube, like 9.4 million. So hopefully one day it gets to 10 million.
I was wearing those same contacts you had in. I did a TV show, Aaron Spelling TV show called The Kindred, The Embraced, and I turned into a vampire.
That's me in the computer. So that's me like usually
Dang. Yeah, you got your setup.
like 2 a.m. already. It's like, I didn't used to film all that, but now I think it's important because for moments like this that you and I were talking, I was like, okay,
Right.
if I don't have the image, just say in your imagination, right?
Right.
So now I document everything.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah. You know, there was a soap opera in English, they made it. It's called Ugly Betty.
Yeah.
But so that was the one that has 9 million. Oh, there it is. That's the one has 9.4 million
Oh, America
views.
Ferrera.
Yeah,
is
that was
the-
it was the hardest one because it's literally as you go.
Dang.
And you're editing this.
Yes, as I'm going because you need to make sure that when you go like that, it goes.
Ah,
Because if it doesn't, then you have a big gap in between words in the song. And that was super hard, like the
Yeah.
pulling the clothes. Because you pull the one that you have, you put the other one, but then you grab again that close to do it like this.
whoa.
So again, I think this is the part, it's my favorite part because I can show that my raw self myself and start from the beginning and like my abilities with that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Then I did Ursula. That was a tough one. It's that like from The Little Mermaid.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the prosthetic of that one, it was with this big ching.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Dang.
Oh, my God.
I know. So
You kill these. These are awesome.
thank you.
This is amazing.
Yeah, and then I mean, of course, I do glue nails here and there for depending on what it is, like what outfit.
Right.
But I like to take people through the whole thing, and then I have my PJs usually underneath or just like sweatpants, and then sometimes you cut yourself like I don't know. The camera, you have to adjust it, and you're with this whole thing. One day, the whole thing came down, my whole background. It gets it is tricky, but you know what?
Who's working the camera? Is that
Me, everything I do on my own. Oh, that I call always my sister, like here,
Yeah.
just like for a few
Right.
seconds, and then that's my still camera just there,
Right.
and I like to show there like my laptop, this what I'm gonna do, and I've been doing this past year. The last year I didn't do it. I was like, I think it's fun to show people what it takes more than
Well, of course.
Because that TikTok stuff is 1 minute. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
people think they can just grab a phone and become an influencer.
No,
You know
and
what
I
mean?
didn't know any of this, Brian.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, I
like I
know.
started.
Well, that's the most important thing to me when I say that you've learned from one eyeliner pencil to
Yeah.
to an eyelash brush. You know, that you learned it from the ground
And you know
up.
what, Brian? It's like you might think, wow, Josetty does all those things, but to be honest, there is someone out there that does way more. Like there is people that do
Sure.
this every day for the
Yeah.
whole year.
Right.
And then there is some crazy body paintings now. Like
Yeah.
before, it was just a makeup artist. Now the same actors, the same people that are doing the acting, they are also the makeup artists that
Right.
does. And it turns out that it's also a beautiful woman that is into fitness and sings and all this. So it's like the bar is so high. So it is motivation. And I always said, yes, it is a lot of competition, let's call it that way. But I'd rather be in a place that it's full of that motivation
Yeah.
than being somewhere that I got bored there. It's
Right.
not, I'm not saying my fellow actors, like, I mean, they're the best ones there, the biggest ones, the most famous, the actors and all that. But to me, it wasn't impressing me because
Right.
I'm used to living here. This is Hollywood to me. Like, you know,
Right.
this is where, like the movies that I used to watch being like a kid, like a
Right.
High School Music would call. Well, all these kids are just like, you know, like being dancers and trying to get into schools and just
Right.
making the difference. So that was the dream coming from Peru.
Right.
And also sometimes we take it for granted. Like now I'm like so close working like with Disney, like, or working like Hello Kitty brands like
Right.
that. And then you go to event premieres and openings and things like that. And sometimes I'm so busy doing this over and over that every time I go to Peru and there I'm like, let's say missing one event, and I go on TikTok when they say, oh, in LA they just opened this, let's say
Right.
Hello Kitty Cafe, whatever.
Right.
And then I think about how many people is dreaming to go to LA,
Right.
to that far place, to meet this place that they said exists.
Right.
And I'm privileged to be at the opening days and all that. So that's my motto. Always keep reminding how like where I've gone and where I'm at is like everyone that is pursuing those things, like that dream.
So tell me where you're going.
One of the things I want to start pursuing, and I think I'm there, it's just about connections and it's just about time also. Through Disney, when I do the influencers, and which it leads to Hot Topic and all that, they invite you to all these events. Like they did the, what's it called? The Nightmare Before Christmas, the
Right.
whole symphonic, and the actors were there like that. And
Yeah.
it was a private party for that.
Okay.
So, but those same people, they usually then they start getting invited to like the event premieres. When I moved here, I was also covering certain things like that with Warner Brothers for
Right.
the show, like my dad's show. I would
Right.
like to take it from, instead of just going to the event and put it on my social media. I already had a taste of that, like interviewing people, like to put it there in the show.
Right.
I would like to slowly transition into that.